like when it happened, I didn't really. I was just like, oh, okay, I
Sekunjalo.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah.
I fast forward, caught up with me, in ways that I never thought it would.
Mm.
But then, like, I had accepted it way before, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Kind of like,
Yo, fitted ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Dude, I don't know how many times I've been saying welcome back to this specific episode now. But yes, we're officially back. There was a minor problem, bro. The last time we came here, we were so late. Even the bosses were angry. They were like, "No, before we start, let's apologize, man, for the inconvenience." But we back. I think for me, what I learned in it was that everything has a reason, dude. You understand? I think there's nothing that you do that is like nothing by the coincidence. Oh no, it's just a coincidence. I'm late, and I was telling my bro in the car that, hey, I think maybe someone was trying to do something, but hey, it's none other than that. But this one is a very personal one. This one goes way back actually. This brother of mine, I think we go about, if I'm not mistaken, 6 years now. It's like 6. 6, 5. It can't be 5, dog. It's like 6.
6.
6, all the way in G8, dog. I remember the first time I actually went to this brew, I had no watch, dog. And I needed the time so bad. And what fascinated me about this brew, he had this watch now that it used to like bling like good colors at night. And I was like, I've never seen a watch like this. And I was like, nah, let me ask for the time. But fast forward later, 6 years, this brew, it's a personal one, man. So I'd call you by name, but dog, at this point you've got like 5 names, Ndwana. So help me welcome Mr. Uguhle Ndlovu. My brother, how you doing, dog?
I'm more than yourself.
Slip note a bit. Pro of mine came in crutches, and I was like, hey.
In a crutch.
In a crutch.
One rather.
Only one.
Two's
only
bad.
One. Two's bad. Two's bad.
Two's bad.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you for taking your time and coming through. And, I appreciate time as much. By the way, he's not alone. In the background, we've got Serena, bro. We've also got Jimmy Sad. Lorenzo wanted to be here, but unfortunately, due to commitments, he couldn't make it. But shout out to him as well. That's his crew, dog. If you see those guys there, just know that, no, Uguchi's on. So I just want to, let's break the ice, dog. Let's break the ice for those that don't know you. Just break the ice for them, who you are, what you do behind the scenes. I always like saying, who's the man behind the uniform? Just break it down for them, dog.
Who's the man behind the uniform? Department specifically?
No, I mean, like, you know how we walk in public and the first person we see is the guy, like, yo, this guy's drip. But people don't know the guy behind Oguhle, man behind the uniform. Like, that being controlling, I'm not going to say being, but the person who you actually are. Yeah.
Hey, that's a very, it's a very broad question, but
yeah.
Hey, man, every day is a new thing, I believe. But I'm trying to be a virtuous person, Yeah, man. But thing is, man, the history of all the names, as you've mentioned.
Yeah.
So, but as I'm saying, trying to be virtuous. That's Ellie, as I'm being referred to now in this moment, going forth in each and everything that I do. So I would say Ellie is first and foremost a musician and a producer,
Well, of course, because I don't think anyone would be like a musician without like being, or let me say artist without being like a producer. Like, let's say for example, like a kid has a dream of becoming like a DJ, but along the line he's going to become a producer because he needs to get his numbers up, or that's how he can control the movement. Yeah, but
wants to make him.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, by the way. Yeah, continue.
No, that's exactly what I was hearing.
Yeah,
actually, yeah. But that's who he is, constantly, like the first abbreviation for ELE,
Mm.
enunciated Eli as everlasting evolution.
Yeah.
So
Everlasting evolution.
yeah, so
No, it's beautiful stuff.
constantly it's a new thing, you
Yeah.
know. So like, cause like really, man, it's always a new thing about you. Like each and every single day,
Mm.
you know, as a person,
Yeah.
find out new things about you, new traits, and you know, that's just how it is.
Okay. No, I get you. When you mention the name Everlasting Evolution, man, that's beautiful. Cause like that's not even a name that could like die now, dude. You know what I mean? Like it everlasting evolution. It explains itself, you know? But now in the space of I don't know, let me say like the past 2-3 years, or let me say 4, is that you've had like 5 names. There's a point where we were like Rosie. There's a point where we were like Elmon Rose. There's a point where we were like LA. There's a point where we were like Ellie. So I want to ask you, how did that come about for you to move across these things? Because let's be honest, sometimes you do things and you're like, Ish, I really don't like them now. But until you realize you're like, no, this is the one. So what made you have like so many names until you came to this specific one and you're like, no, shot, that's it.
I mean, I think with me, you know, at a certain point in time, going by so many different names, are constantly changing, comes as a result of like everything that was happening at that point in time,
Yeah.
like behind the scenes, you know, and like easily being like, it was a phase as well of like, okay, as a result of everything that was going on, it's like it affected
Yeah.
me as a person, you know, obviously. And in a way that, like, you know, I just was like, for some reason, I was like, I doubted it, you know. I knew I could do better. It's just like, I don't know. It was just that phase, you know.
Yeah.
So I obviously trying to find different things, but so I found myself in a place where it was just like, just like nothing was happening, you know, and it all came to me, you know. The name, you know, it usually happens like that. Actually, my ideas, it's like they come to me more than anything, and it's just, I thought about it, the name, Eli, but it wasn't enunciated, Eli. Remember,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was Eli.
LA.
So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think for the last time again, I went for the glamorous behind the sounding, and you know,
Yeah.
then I actually found meaning in it. You know, just like every other idea, it's like I never know why I do it in a moment, but with time and you know, just doing it regardless, I kind of can conclude that okay, you know, so came ELE, the first 3 letters of the elephant in
Elephant.
English,
Oh,
which
Kachen Undlovu. Yeah, I see. I see.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that, you know, the everlasting evolution because of like this, you know, like when you come up and you grow, it's like you become so many different people or versions of yourself that you can actually choose from
Yeah.
if you want to be something, you know. So I think with knowing it, how everything was when I was like in a certain, you know, besides myself, um, there's just no other way around it, you know.
Yeah. No, I get you because it's coming from a sense of, I wouldn't say rebranding, but you've got to like particularly shift like certain things so
Aligning,
that this works with this and that. And no, I get you, but I wouldn't really call it like rebranding, but sort of along those lines.
recalibration
Yeah,
rather than
yeah.
rebranding.
State of hibernation, what. But then, yeah, man. So with you mentioned a lot about going through you you mentioned a lot about the things you had to go through, and you can kind of tell that those things are what shape you for you to be the person you are right now, right? Because one would ask you, like, let's not lie, it's not like many people are aware of what we do every day and stuff like that, but we try and get to a specific point where our dreams are made of and stuff like that, you know. We try to be known, or we try to get our project out there so that people focus more on what we really do. And so when I hear you speak, I get a sense of you've had to go through many things to particularly get to the place that you're in right now. And I want you to touch on those because you can kind of hear it in your music. Not kind of, you really hear it in your music a lot. I'm not sure if the song was Breathe Again or it was In Vanity. Let's address the elephant in the room. In Vanity, where it says, I'm getting down on my knees and I'm trying to speak to the man that when we end the conversation, we say Amen. That's a lot. That is a lot. So already they talk to me like, what are you going through that moment when that jotting comes down from, the mind, from you thinking of that line to putting it down? Because clearly there's a message that you're trying to talk about something. What are you going through?
I wouldn't necessarily say that's because of going through something. But if it was a phase, it would be a phase of realization. And within me realizing that, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, like live that way rather, and because like that's there's no other way around it. Again, I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Like I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Coming to the realization of that is kind of just like, that has to be a part of, my life. It's just, despite of me going through anything, reconnection, and more than it being a phase, it's just a realization, as I'm saying. It's like, oh, despite of this and that happening, this is supposed to be like what I breathe, regardless. As gratitude comes in that as well as, because like, learning through, for example, learning through near-death experiences.
Okay.
Most times, like, it takes that for us as people to actually learn, uti, nah, you shouldn't do that. Like that'll only amount to destruction, death and all that, but we do it anyways.
And there's been experiences of those near death experiences.
Yeah.
Because now with like I'm saying, man, Eric is just he's a lyricist, man. Like, because I think, I'm not sure if it's the same song, but I stand to be corrected. The part where you mentioned that you caught up in between your parents' divorce. And because you can see from a point that kind of takes a mental toll for you. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things, and towards parents as well. These people do things for you. It's people that you've basically grown up, and then now to experience these issues while you're growing up kind of puts a mental toll to you to like mature even faster, to be like, okay, no, this is it. And you can kind of tell that it definitely does have an effect, and I want to know, like, what is it that you had to go through that moment?
Like when it happened, I didn't really. I was just like, oh, okay,
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah.
I fast forward, caught up with me, in ways that I never thought it would. But then, like, I had accepted it way before, that's the thing. Kind of like, it amounted to like reality that you knew that it had to be, and then it happens. I think you just have to accept that certain things happen.
Yeah,
then there's death as well. That's way worse, in my opinion. So you just have to accept and just maneuver through. But grief as well, man. I'm not saying hold anything. You have to grieve. It's important. Because when it caught up with me as well, hey man, it took a toll on me. As a result, I wasn't able to project the side of me that we're here for, which is Ellie, not me personally, Ellie.
Ellie.
That whole brand.
Yeah.
You have to.
Because now, was that something you saw coming from afar? Good, hey, Yabo manje ngathi sezobheda manje. Or like it just there was like a quick sign and then, because I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not like we don't live in homes that don't experience these things because we had a guy, well, I bumped into a guy, we were just speaking, and he was just talking about the mental things that men go through. And it's just that they start from a very young age, like right now. And so they have an effect later in life. And so when stuff like these happen, you kind of just feel, no, man, endlini man, akusafani. It's no longer like how you know it. And so those are the particular signs you see, no. Those are the small signs you see, hey, something is about to happen. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want to speak about Ellie. When we're in the, just spoiler alert, when we're in the car, or no, not even the car, the last episode actually, the name Ellie actually had a lot to do. Let me not say this is the biggest person, but one of the most important people in Eric's life is Uma, because even the recalibration of Ellie came from her as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me more about that. How did that also form? And Kamaranjan, like, how's it going also?
Obviously, art is like you have to be very expressive to an extent where like maybe sometimes not everyone is gonna agree with you, but like, well, first the name itself, it was just Ele, as I say.
Yeah.
And I kind of like came down, like I was like, okay, well, relax, and then calm, and then I really looked into it, pronunciations and all of that. Ellie. No. Actually, one of my dogs, Ace, they called me Ellie, ELLY. And I picked it up. I was like, no, man. I once said something about, back in primary. And yeah, remembering that scene,
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And I never made much of it that day specifically, but then I was like, okay. Then fast forward, I thought about it again, and I was like, oh, Ellie, representing moms. Her name actually has those four syllables in her name. So I was like, hey, closest thing to moms, man, rep. So I repped it that way.
No, that's dope, man. Because that now symbolizes the importance of her in it and how she builds onto that. And that's why I say that when stuff like that happen, now it's here to stay. It's like not going anywhere because that state of recalibration has already happened. But now I sense ukuthi Uma she's ufana nabonke Uma, dude, like strict, man. Right? To the point where I actually spoke to him. I was like, hey, Ndota, I'm going to dance a little song go. I'm no longer on Uma, man. Just ngikhuluma ngemami lakho straight. Ukuthi now when she comes in, how does Uma receive it? Or mhlawumbe uyazi, angazi, mhlawumbe akazi noma uyazi.
I know uyazi.
Uyazi mfethu iqhamuka kanjani into, like how does it come as in like an acceptance thing? Because I feel like you're now at a place where you need to be you need to be frank with the people around you now. Yeah, boy. Because this now is no longer as much as you growing for you, but this now touches everyone around you. Yeah, boy. I'm not gonna say God forbid, but but like another, yeah, uma we receive yonke kanjani lento le, ubona umfana wakhe cool, uyabona ukuthi. Oh, and also by the way, Eric is actually Inkosana. So Inkosana, by the way, in Zulu is it's not in Indlalifa per se, but like it's like a prince. Eric is a prince in his homestead. I want to ask about that. How's the responsibility as Inkosana? Because similar case with me, only boy in the family. Onisbongo Sagatswai. Do you understand? That's a heavy thing,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah, yeah,
That's a really heavy thing. So as in Gosan, I understand. And hence why I ask you, what's the burden that carries? Not burden, but what's the responsibility looking like? How does it feel on you? Has it weighed on your shoulders as yet? Or it hasn't gotten to that point?
I think about it every single day, man.
Mm.
Yeah. I think about my great grandmother actually. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, very often. I think about her. I think about, hey, man. You know, yeah, there's a lot to do, man. There's a lot that like, man. Yeah, so it's if I think about it every day, I think you should know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But it's not
very
something that
important.
weighs me down. It's something that I like more reminds me.
Mm.
It's okay, hey, dog. You know,
Yeah.
you must switch on. You know,
Mm.
focus, make sure because hey, it's critical. Kind of like when they counter attacking on the field and you're the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
man. Hey, you must make sure.
I mentioned in counter attack. That one, ufika ne crash, nyambuza, because he told me when we were preparing today, how. And then, because, for me, Uglimala for me is like not a good thing, but when you grow, we are a boy, you understand. But I understand that significance because it becomes heavy. Yabona like ngicabanga manje that thing. You think of it now. Well, it was never a thing on me because now understand that as in Kosana, your plans change in the future now. Your plans change to the point where I would say you do what you want to do right now. And then you realize that, oh no, my plans have to now accommodate for the people outside the family.
And with that being said, there's so many people who will say, how can I put this? Like, if it's that way, with so much weight on your shoulder,
it's a lot, dude.
Know that what's coming is even greater. That's
Exactly.
one thing. Like, don't say now, man. Nah. As you said earlier on, everything happens for a reason.
For a reason, yes. There's nothing for coincidence. Because now, I see from my area, Ugutino, for example, in my case, right, we've got a lot of people in the family, right? And I'm asking this because all of us have dreams, all of us have aspirations, Ugutino. I want to get to this place. But now I understand that your dream in a homestead, Donna, it's just like me. Ekaya, you grow up and they tell you, no, fine, cool, ham yosebenza, wenze ingane isikade la ekhaya, whatever, you know what I mean? Tell them seven's all right, but they forget that now you've also got dreams and aspirations. And now,
what if they don't align?
Why don't exactly with the homestead? What if they don't? This doesn't serve this or that doesn't serve this. So now having to, I'm not saying accommodate them in your dreams, and I never want to do that because one thing you're here alone and you're pushing your own thing. I won't mean I'm saying it. No, let me go home. Nah, I'm a presenter. You understand what I'm saying? Like they don't understand that this thing can be made into a proper career, and so for that to fit within the homestead, it's difficult. And so that's what I wanted to find out, Uguti. Do you think like they would accept it like that within the homestead? Uguti, no, you know what? It's fine. It's him.
What can I say? They would rather put it in a way that they would say, okay, we hear you, but now, more than anything, you would have to, or you can't do that, but have something that they want you to do at least, or something that, not even what they want, but something that maybe you even what you want, but like that is destined to go to, you're going to get something out of it, like school perhaps or something. For example, that's always the predicament. But it would never be a thing of no, And I hear where you're coming from, Myself, I'm skeptical, because, let me say they're accepting with ideas, of course, but like this, man, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, because now...
A black parent, you come to them and you say, like, you want to, especially in this day and age, so it's kind of a easy thing. You just have to prove yourself, If you want it, then you just have to make sure that if you want it, you'll get it.
I hear you. As long as as a person, uvelu ham wuta ima saying you'll be comedian. Understand? Umagcina esithi suhlekisa abantu le ngaphandle uhlungihlekisa mina. You understand? But like, say now you get the opportunity to be like, let's say you get the opportunity, and I hope so, I pray so, that you start working with people who are international. You have the opportunity to go to New York, Atlanta, or be everywhere, anywhere in the world. Understand? So manja, you've got to leave because true thing, actually crazy fact. Well, I didn't know it is that when a baby is born, the woman has a placenta. And so in particular, I'm not sure here, but I know that particular mothers, what they do is that they take the placenta and they plant it, and then they put a tree and the tree grows, right? Could be a fruit or whatever. And the whole purpose of planting your placenta is for the child to stay closer to home, which I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So now to think about it, because the oldies now make us grow up to such a way they say, no, musum dala, was ekai. Come back home, take care of the home. And you would understand what you know, because this is a surname that needs to grow in a particular way. And so should you get that opportunity, of course they're going to pull you more to home side and say, no, dude, come take care of the house now. You know what I mean? And this is why I asked to say, like, how do you think they would receive it if that was to happen?
Man, I think about it very often.
Yeah.
I can never conclude, or come to a conclusion of what exactly I'll do or say, but I guess it's a little bit different when you're in a situation itself. And I think when it comes through and it's something that I've always wanted, something should happen on that spot,
Yeah.
So also, again, it's a do or die situation. Not literally. Like, it's more of you do it now or for something like that, then possibly we'll see how it goes about. But obviously, you'll just have to do it, man.
Yeah, my dog. Some things you just have to thug them out, bruh. Like, we'll cross that bridge when it gets there, right? But I quickly want to cut you off. Ladies and gentlemen, fill us up, guys. It's your man, the voice, the man, the vibe, Karolo Tswai. And just want to send a quick shout out to Scent Studios, who is providing us with quality sound and proper visuals, that is based here in Campton Park in Johannesburg. If you guys want to reach out to them, they offer services as recording audio, and could be that you have your own podcast. You could come through, whether that you're a seasoned podcast maker or you're always making videos just like us. So come through. I'm aware that they do have a website, correct? They do have a website. Please make sure you go follow them on their social media platforms and book your session today. Back to it, Mfethu. The homestead. Ngoba imami, I asked you about something ukuthi Uma, how would she feel ukuthi the acceptance, right? Dog, do you actually believe with this genuine love? Like ukhona umuntu wakho out there?
Strongly so.
Strongly so. Do you think you're with them right now?
I strongly believe.
Yeah. Because the reason why I ask is that Tinesa Machitamaninga, we flop. And here's how we flop is that not flop, but we get into things right now for the sake of getting into things, right? We know with the recent chain, Kunabum Jola and whatever, but then a lot of the times I emphasize I don't like getting myself into things that I know that they don't have no future. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here just... Dude, I don't want to be here knowing that in like the next 4 years we're not going to be together. Okay, now, we are within and we are working towards this thing.
Something, yeah.
You know what I mean? So would you say you've put yourself in that area to be like, if this is the one, this is the one?
In that type of thinking,
In that
before
type of,
committing.
yeah, in that type of form.
If it is the one, then yeah, I'd like to say so. But it was more of a passive thing, not passive as in like accepting whoever and whatever. It's just like, yeah, I was like, okay, if it is, then it is. But I wasn't seeking for anything.
Yeah.
I was like, just I wasn't seeking.
So
At
so
some point,
so
like
when
Ish
you
the
say it's
bros,
genuine
though.
love, Serena's laughing, and I'm like,
He
dog.
knows. He
So
knows. He
okay,
knows.
wait. So you don't think you fumbled? Not as yet.
What do you mean?
Fumbled. I'm talking now.
Currently.
Currently, like Uguti, you don't think you fumbled.
Wait, fumbled how?
Serena was
Wait,
laughing
what do you
earlier on.
mean?
I wanna. Serena, do you think you fumbled, dog? Do you think you fumbled a hand ever? Fumble, like you just fumble.
Oh, me, like before
Yeah,
ever.
everyone fumbles. Ah, dog. Then that means there's no
Life is a
genuine
mountain.
love.
Listen,
Then
listen. Yeah, life is a mountain. As long as you're climbing up, you'll fumble. It's steep.
there's
It's
always a nigga
everything.
who's gonna move your mountain.
Huh?
There's always a nigga who's gonna move your mountain.
Yeah, I like that
If she
thinking.
meets
I
a guy
like
with
that
better
thinking.
money
I
and,
like that
and these
thinking.
crazy cars with the 4 pipes, she's gone, dog.
Hey, man.
But then why do you say then that that's it? Because okay, maybe I'm saying it wrong, right? But for me, I just know like it's a thing with okay, no. You see now here, now we are moving, now we are, you know what I mean? Genuine love.
I share a perspective with him actually. Like when as I said earlier on, passive. Like if it is, then it is. If it's not, then it's not. Like if like
My
it.
point I'm trying to get is that you think it is, but it's not. So you saying you learn from it. Because my dog, this year we've been through things, eh? Hey, my dog, even the people who thought they're getting married, they're not getting married, dog.
Yeah,
Hey, my
like
nigga.
no, have hope, dog. Have hope.
No, I do
Not
have
have,
hope.
not have, not
I do
have.
have hope. Don't get me wrong. I just, it's like the thing of one guy having many children with different baby mamas, right? And so, but if you're trying to avoid that, I don't want to make the wrong woman go through like particular things. If you catch what I mean. So I'm not doing anything unless I have confirmation to say, okay, now we're flying. So, but then that's what the homestead is trying to protect. Because let's take the things of his tembu into consideration to say no, this one has this, or there's now many women coming in, but now the problem is all these different children from baby mamas now go big in the homestead that no, there's my child with who and who, and like dog for me, I'm not having a child with someone I'm not gonna marry
Gosh, man.
because there's now particular things that need to be done. So I'm trying to avoid that. And so now when you say that, okay, now if I feel like this is the one, this is the one. I feel like that's what Umar is trying to protect. Not just Umar, but for like us James, that's what many people are trying to protect, or the people back at home are trying to protect, into saying, nah, dude, so that isn't just something lying. And that is why I keep making a reference to Uma Oguti. How does she accept slowly these things? Because, mind you, the projects, we were in the car and we were listening to all these projects, and I can hear these things, Oguti. There's influences, there's things that you talk about that keep on highlighting family, friends, the life now, the life then, you know? And this is why I keep making reference to Uguti. How do you think these things zihlangana kanjani phambili? You know what I mean?
Ish. You know, if I said I ever concluded myself that was gonna be the direction, I'd be lying to you. I just found like the whole subject matter of the things I made like shifting. You know, I think, and it's just a thing that happens with me, or like I don't know, maybe whatever I'm consuming at the time, it shifts. You know, so I think that's what it's shifted to, and I think that is like what makes sense for me as well. Like just feels right as well.
Okay.
I mean, as an artist, you're more expressive. You're an expressionist. So I think that way, number one has been ticked off.
No, I hear you. And now that you mention, well, you've been mentioning artists that you're meant to grow, right? And mind you, all the people that are here in studio, you've made projects with them and outside, right? And I just wanna I wanna get quick reactions here. So who of the I'm not gonna compare the two with each other, but I wanna know that so far with the people you've worked with, do you think they've taken you from, as like you're mentioning, as an artist to grow? Do you think these people have taken you from one place to another to be like, because doc, I'm here with amazing producers, doc. I don't even, and I keep asking myself why, because this is, if I'm correct, this is all self-taught, right? Between you guys, this is also, there's no like course, there's no nothing. You guys went into whatever. So you're studying, right?
Yes.
Studying, but it's not music. Serena studying next year. No, it's not music. Where's the music? It's not music. Jimmy, he's not studying, but it's not music either. All of this is self-taught. But for me, on my experience, all the guys I've met that are producers, I'm talking, I don't want to mention any names. I'm not paid to say names, but like, but like all the guys I know, dog, like that are international, bro, they've all went to like music school. Like they started from scratch to learn this software, this, that. And I would understand that maybe as a person, it maybe what sets you back is equipment or whatever. But why actually haven't you guys gone into the space of thinking of like, okay, actually, let me go and study music so that I see where the opportunity. Because let's be honest, because I know a couple of people who went after, right? And today they're on TV because of the connections they made within school. So my question is, why isn't they like, unless if it's maybe like parents they don't want or something, but is it a thing where like you've just never thought of it to go to school for music?
Hey man, I definitely wanted to go to school for it. Like first year, but yeah, that was the chat, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they've all wanted to go to school. So what was the hold up, James? Was it rains? Was it?
Nobody's parents will want to pay for the child to go to music school
Because
rather than something else.
I hear you. Because my chat was, I've always been. We spoke about this on the last episode. I've always been fascinated about the guy behind the mic, but not the mic alone, right? And for me, there were many people getting to the position that I want to besides school. So I knew Uti, I could push this thing on my own, right? But if you say that rent is a factor, would you? So are you saying that you would rather like move out of your parents' house before you do that step, or like you're gonna meet it along the way? Because I feel like maybe things for your things to be easier, you'd be like, nah, I still live with the rents, they still find me. So rather let them find like a particular course, and then you study that, then you work like that, and then with that money, then you go out there.
I mean, if push comes to shove, yeah, you have to, like, that's dead end, and that's the only option, you know. And with all that pressure, of course, I think that's when you're supposed to make the most out of it. Because if you try to say now, for example, if you say now I want to step out, I mean, it's good, but for me, knowing myself, I wouldn't work as much because then I'm comfortable already,
Yeah.
you know, in a sense, because I know myself well at this point in time. So I'd rather take all that pressure because, like, it's like in the moment when I'm in that space, you know, there's so much that I can take more than when I'm with myself. It's just like I want to distract myself rather when I'm on my own. No, like not so much inspiration, things like that, you know. So I think take in the pressure in whatever predicament that you're in. Know that whatever situation you're in as well is for a reason.
Yeah.
That's in that point in time. That's where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And just work under that pressure, and everything will come through and you'll be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be. There. Yeah.
So I hear that, because now also another thing is I don't get into something if it's not. I keep on making reference to this. I don't do something unless it's long term. And for me, I basically pick a field where I am comfortable to be like, no, actually, I'm here to stay for the next like 10, be it 20 years, whatever, right? And so my question is to you, or AV, or like the producers, in fact, like, is it something you see like you do like long term? Because another thing, I feel like as the youth we rush because of like the influence you see, like social media, personal life and stuff like that. You'd want to be a great producer, but then, because if it's a long thing, then I would have no rush. I'd be like, you know what, the industry will find me whenever it finds me, and you keep pushing. Or like, you actually make way to be like, nah, you know what? I want to be known or I want to work with amazing artists? Is it something you see that like, okay, this is something I'm pushing for years?
Man, I would rather say like through everything that's happening, like what can I say? Patience. I know like a lot of people say patience and it's become a bit cliche, but
Yeah.
it's just the more tools and experience you get before, it's like the process is I like the process. The process is something that's worth
Yeah.
being in a moment, for like everything that happens in the process is like very important for in the future, because like I believe you can gain so much, being an artist as well,
Mm.
being able to craft what you want to craft.
Yeah.
Exactly, it comes with something, you must know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think with all of those things having to be done, making the process, I think that's just how it's supposed to be, you know. So gain everything that you have to. If it happen, I mean, it happens any time. Like maybe
Yeah.
before, maybe after. You just never know. But just make sure you're doing something.
Yeah.
Just be at it always, I believe.
No, I hear you. Also, yeah, man, I get a lot because, like, for me, I'm not saying it's like an ick for me, but like, when talent is not being shown or like talent doesn't go where it's supposed to go, it kind of like it bothers me because it shows me that there's more to people who could do this. There's actually space for people that do it, right? It's just that for me, I feel like any industry, in fact, not any, but like the art industry, be it acting, presenting, you're a producer, you're a DJ, I feel like it's taken more seriously like international. You know what I mean? Not here. And hence why I keep hammering that, yo, James, school wise, maybe that confirmation of that qualification could be like, yo, okay, now we broad, now we go that side. I mean, there's people who've worked like, do you guys know of any producers that have went international without like no school, no nothing, just being self-taught
From SA.
from SA? Nah.
And I only know like some from like maybe Mars and stuff that are usually this side.
Yeah.
I don't know how, because like basically all they do is music as far as I've seen.
From that
But
side to here.
yeah. I think mostly this side more than that side.
Okay.
Yeah, Zim, I think as well. Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously producers everywhere. I mean, one thing would be like doing something that's obviously international.
Okay.
But like, yeah. I want to quickly touch. So, will producers? I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get answers aside, but I want you to mention artists that you've worked with, but you didn't really like the project. Cause I've worked with like many people. We've done many interviews. Surprisingly, so we've only like let few being posted because like you after you watch it, you realize it. Nah, man. You understand? So are there any are there any artists are there any artists that you've worked with and you were just like, not that to trash them or anything, but were there any people who were like very unprofessional who you've worked with? You'll be like, this one is not the one. Never.
No, it would always be me being skeptical of what I've said or how I've produced what I've put on more than anything.
So
I wouldn't say any other artist has been. Everyone's thing is different. If you understand it, you do. If you don't, a lot of things that I listened to the first times compared to a bit later sounded different.
yeah.
But like it's that obviously is different to like something that you just don't understand. Oh yeah. But
No, I hear you. So this now goes to a frame of so yeah, so it kind of goes to the frame of so major of the projects you have, you do them yourself.
from scratch, yeah, I'd like to believe like if I'm by myself. Mostly if I'm by myself.
So it's an idea, you lay it down and it's yours.
From the beginning.
Okay. And then aren't you mention artists that that you've worked with who've produced like the best of your work
On my behalf,
on your side that you see that these ones I'm set like they pushed or they pushed you as a producer to do more.
should they be producers specific? Like
Could be
specific?
any
Any?
family wise, friends wise, even
Oh.
your co-producers, anything.
So I got to high school already doing it, but
Mm.
like I wasn't exposed to any equipment, whatnot. I couldn't purchase any of my own. So I started off with Ace and them. So I was hearing what they were dropping. I was still inspired, so I was still
Ace, yeah.
writing. And it wasn't up until I started hanging with Jimmy,
Mm.
and then that's how we'd cook, like make stuff.
Yeah.
And Beautiful Boy and stuff came about. Like it was just all there in one place.
Yeah.
And like so when I was like, okay, there's like it's really no other way around it. And ever since, I think that was when it was like for me, just I don't know, like it was that goal. There it is finally. There's
Yeah.
a reason as to why it happened then. So I would say Jimmy's room, basically.
Jimmy.
Yeah,
Alright, no,
that's
shout out to Jimmy.
monumental. That's monumental.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I hear you. And then
And then the boys. Yeah.
no, I hear you. And with I want to ask because we know of PR, right? PR, the guys that sell you to be out there. So we know of like producers that I keep saying producers because, but like artists, let me say artists. There are artists that have good PR teams, there are artists that have bad PR teams and stuff like that. And do you think it's more of a goal for you to, or like, let me not say goal, but do you think it's much more preferred to be like, do you think it's like much better to be that underrated like type of person or you being like out there? Because for me, for the work I've heard, you all seem like underrated, like dog. Like you all look like you're lowies, bro. Like you'll just chill until I hear your name. Then I'm like, yes. So do you think you prefer to be the people on the down low, or do you prefer to be underrated? Do you prefer your image to be pushed out there?
I don't think anyone would want to do something and not want to be the best at it. So obviously, and when it comes to if you want to eat off like your creative as well, like your art, and only that, for example, not specifically art or anything that you do. If you want to live off that being your goal, you have this vision, you've perfected how it looks. If you really want to do that, you just have to, like, what can I say? Sacrifice. Wait, what was the question again? Sorry, I lost
So
track.
would you
want to be
rather-
underrated?
Yeah,
or
would you want to be underrated or like have your image pushed out there?
you really have no choice. Like, you really have no choice. You just have to do so much that you heard. It's not even about wanting to be heard or not. I guess, yeah, to fill up your, certain part of yourself,
Yeah.
as to, okay, you know me, yeah. You just have to.
Mm.
I don't prefer being under or over. I just want to be the best at what I do. That's to answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. And I want to ask again, right? So you've got many inspirations, right? Many that people, cognitive people that you take from there or here. But I want you to mention people within your particular industry who just rose up that thing, because it seems like y'all had this thing figured out since high school, dog. Like it has always been that thing. Have you ever formed like, have you ever like thought of forming like a group and then it's just like y'all as producers? Nothing like that. You do have one. Okay. Okay, now we know. Now we they do have one. So, but then I want to know, now that it's like a group, mention those people that would be like, it could be they're well known or they're underrated, but who are those gems who would be like, damn, they've pushed us from like here to here, basically.
Just like outside, from outside.
Outside.
Always pushed us. In terms of like,
Could be any artist. Could be like your Kendricks, your
oh,
Drakes.
who inspired
Yeah.
me personally,
Would say the group
or the
or
group, or group,
or like
group. I wouldn't necessarily say it's specific. Like everyone is, it's everywhere. Like
it's
trust me,
everywhere.
yeah,
Because
trust
the
me.
reason why I ask about also
Very
the
versatile, if I
yeah.
can say.
Because the reason why I'd ask about the underrated chat and your fame being pushed out there, y'all could have the opportunity. And I always say, like, it only takes like a slight moment until your things like start popping off. You'll have that opportunity to like go out there, right? And then particular things have to change now, dog. So right now you could be offered to be like, yo, nah, dog. What's that? There was a saga that happened, I'm not sure, with, I can't remember, it was on Twitter, where these guys are like the P. Diddy situation. Say you're caught up in that, not caught up, but you're offered like that, would you take it? Dog, things change when you're that side, bruh. Things change. And that's what I'm saying, because now, hey, dog, you begin to think you're like, hey, your family, this, that. Understand? Now you're rubbing shoulders with the big dudes and you wanna make yourself seen. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanna know, like, what's that? Who are those people? Okay, let's move to you personally, not the group per se, but for you, who are those artists who are in the industry, in your particular industry, that like inspires you to be like, yeah, no, this one. Let's put it as top 5. Your top 5. You cannot go a day without listening to these bros.
Amen. Jonah Rukai,
Mm.
Sanfa, Corbin. Yeah, like frequently, but not very often as the first two. K
Yeah, because you make a lot of music. Because Serena is even saying in the class, like, yo, dog, your music is like so talented, the creator type of inspired.
Yo, Tyler Ghana. But so it's who? RJ, Sanfa, K Dot, other two.
Mm.
It's everywhere. That's the thing. I would say the Hicks, and lately Hard J.
Mm.
Yeah, Hard J,
Mm.
Hard J, Hard J.
No, I hear you.
Hard J.
No, I get you. And then just to quickly to fill up on what you're saying, or like basically for the people's sake. Yeah.
I'm lying. There's so much.
There's a lot.
Yo, there's so much. There's so much. Like
There's a lot.
Frank, Mac. Oh, there's so much. But yeah, we can pause. I was just saying for Rickett, there's so much.
There's a
So
lot.
many
Of course,
people.
yeah. I think it's just that
even
thing.
my friends as well.
Yeah.
Saying so many people. And inspiration goes right here actually.
Yeah.
Even before, like lately I'm inspired by what's here in front of me.
Yeah.
Then the big dogs, like there's something about what's here though.
I think
No,
there's just a great amount of that's why I'm saying it's not like an egg per se, but like I just get bothered by seeing talent not go where it needs to go. You know what I mean? And then just to kind of gather the message around for the people, what do you plan in future? What projects do you aim to release? What's your initial goal?
My initial goal.
What's that top thing you see that no, you see here now? I'm actually, I'm getting there. I'm flying.
What has to be achieved?
So let's say music per se. What is your main goal in that? What type of projects are you looking to release? When are we looking to release those projects?
I mean, what music as a whole,
Mm.
the end goal, music as a whole. Obviously, I think with time, as I said, you'd want to live off something that you really want to do, something that
Yeah.
you're good at, something that you enjoy doing. I think that's the main goal overall. Projects in the future, so many contemplations, and some actually complete. It's just, I think, being the person that I am, I've held on to so many things,
Yeah.
and by the time though I let go of some things, it's like it feels like that's the right time. so many things that I've let go of was only the right time when I did more than in the beginning when I really did want to let go of it. So I think, and like so much is happening actually. Hey,
A lot, nah.
so I think in the near future though, like I'm getting to a point where it's like, okay, you really have to, obviously I do have contemplations. I don't want to say too much, but, and I don't want to say mysterious or anything, but anytime from now,
Yeah. So
definitely.
so so what are we looking at? What's the next project you're working on that you're going to drop off, let's say soon?
Before anything would be a lead to a body of work.
Mm.
Uh, I'm trying my best to be vague with it because I get too excited and I
Yeah.
just start. Most of the times, I don't know, I don't know why, when I talk too much about contemplations and plans, it just never goes accordingly.
Yeah, I've gotten that thing where like you talk about what you want to do and like the stuff that you
Mm.
actually, but then it never goes according to plan how you plan it.
And also, like, I know it's a bad thing. You're supposed to be proud of what you're doing. And I'm like, it's something that I'm trying to,
Yeah. So
but
that's confirmation that we are getting something very soon. Not very soon, but like we're gonna get something. Okay, I will. No, I hear because I feel like because you mentioned a lot about contemplating, and do you think like as an artist you run out of creativity?
Well, you go through phases where it's like writer's block, for example. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
A lot of things outside music that influence you as a person. So it never runs out. It's just about certain times and being confident in what you make and
Yeah.
create as well. Yeah. So doesn't creativity never runs out.
Mm.
Everything around us is like as is creativity, God given.
Okay, and do you have like a mentor, dog, or is this
So
you're flying off? Because it's a different thing when I say inspiration and like mentor, but like that mentor's like no, bro, they're on your case.
it's just the man in the mirror, man.
It's the man
But
in the
actually,
mirror.
no. In a sense, like my roof where I live at, when I see it, I know that okay, carry on. Like immediately when I wake up, okay, I
It's go
just
time.
being in that space, yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, like take the pressure. I know you wanna like leave certain environments because of whatever. Take the pressure and do whatever it is that you have to do.
Take the pressure and do whatever it is that you have to do. Now that's clean, dude. No, but I hear you. Lastly, I appreciate you for taking your time coming through, dog. In fact, all of you, I want to appreciate Serena in the studio, Jimmy. Appreciate you guys. I value time a lot. I value time a lot. One thing I do have to say to you guys, I pray for you guys' success. I pray that you guys reach rooms that you've never thought you'd reach in your lives, because I feel like you need to be there. You need to experience what it is to be in outer spaces. I'm gonna say it in Zulu, ukuthi bathini ithuna lendoda lisendleleni or something like that. But as a man, you're never designed to sit in one area because your energies get used to the things that are around you.
Comfort is the enemy.
If you comfort here, then it's a problem because you're going to meet things around the area. Any last words you have for the people that your true people, your co-producers, your fans, us? Any last words you have? Mhlambe uma, mhlambe no mom. I don't wanna mention names.
No, it's simple, plain and simple. As a people, let's be with one another. It's just like us feel sunny, like let's live with one another.
Let's
Yeah.
particular
Show
quote in the
love.
Bible: "How iron sharpens iron, we all learn from each other." I hear you. I hear you.
Just live with one another. Show love. It costs nothing. Like, and always there'll be something that you're facing. Just at least smile or like find something about whatever it is that you're in. Because not a moment in time will it be just like all what? All gloomy with
Yeah.
colors and stuff. It's always going to be it's like something that you you know, experiencing whatever. Find the good in it and maneuver. Cause anytime it could be. There's some people that didn't wake up this morning.
Hey,
Yeah,
yeah, and we're still here.
yeah, man.
No, I hear you. Gents, I really appreciate you for coming through. Like I was saying, look, man, I pray for you guys' success, man. You guys are so underrated. I wish you guys touch places that you never ever thought you could touch. I want to appreciate the man above that we're still here and this could happen. Without you guys, man, this wasn't going to be possible. Any last words I have for you guys is that, gents, keep on pushing, keep on doing what you're doing. Particular words is that your dream is always your dream. No one can take that ever from you, dog. What you have specifically, what Jimmy has, what Serena has, what Eric has, it's yours. No one can take it from you. People will forever look at your guys' gardens and compliment the flowers, but they forget the hard work which is put where? In the soil. People look at your house and compliment your lights and the bricklaying, but they forget to compliment the foundation, because with no proper foundation, there is no proper standing ovation. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in. Quick favor, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please mention next who you guys want us to put out there. And of course, it's the man, the voice, the legend, the vibe, keeping it locked, tight, and fresh. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.